Hi, I have a little project that I'm doing with a group called Fairhaven, which is a charity organisation on the Central Coast. Fantastic cause. And we're having a function at Art Gallery on Ocean View, which is in Ettalong, which is I run. And what we're going to do is we're going to encourage what they do at Fairhaven and showcase them. So one of the things they're going to be doing is resin pours. They're going to be doing artwork, stools and table. We're going to be selling those, but so what we've got Scott there, and we're going to be doing a resin pour next week. But what he's asked me to do is to produce an artwork on a piece of board. So here I have David, who's doing a fantastic job. So this size I find quite difficult because I tend to work bigger and squarer, but this is just a MDF board which Fairhaven will be supplying as part of their charity trying to raise money. We're going to, it's an MDF board and it's been gessoed, and what I'm trying to do is create something that's passable as a sample. So with this, it's got, with resin, it's a clear resin. It has to be really, I think, bright. And what the resin does is really gives it oomph. And so I was thinking today, apart from the fact I hate it, and I'm thinking, what else am I going to do? I thought, okay, well, what about if I do gold leaf or silver leaf? And then I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll show you guys because it'll take a little bit of the mystery out, but of how it's actually applied. So what I've got is a bright, pretty crappy painting at the moment. So many layers, just trying to get it right. And I've got my little box of tricks, so if David comes over and has a look. So when with the studio, what you tend to do is you accumulate a lot of rubbish and things that you've tried, you think it's a great idea, and you've got categories, gouache, inks, oh, I've got everything, glues. This is sexy. I've never used it. Look at that, still in the thing, but I had to have it. It's actually a charcoal graphite thing. Cost a fortune, never used it. Okay, get back to this. So this is, I used to do a lot of, when I first started out, I used to do a lot of black, red and gold. And I used to use the gold leaf. Now there's different forms of gold leaf. This is silver leaf. It's actually real and quite expensive. And then you've got the gold leaf, like that, the same thing. This is the silver, right? It's like fancy alfoil, really, personally. This is the cheaper one. See how it flows or what floats away? Very, very fine. I think some people put this on food and eat it. Does that look really good, Dave? It's floating like that. You got it? Yeah? Okay. So what I thought is to try and give this a little bit of a boost. I did say to Scott it doesn't matter if he stuffs it up with the resin pool, but now if I really like it, I won't be all that happy. And I've got the different gold leaves. This goes everywhere, floats everywhere. This is actually another form of collage. Apparently it's not that very politically correct. It's actual funeral papers in Vietnam or in Asia, and they burn these and the spirits go up and everything like that. But some people use them as a collage, which it's fine. And you put a shellac or you put a covering over it, but to seal it. So I've got, this is how you get the other gold. This is 100 sheets for 20. It used to be 50. I think it's about $50 now. I don't do it much, but that's like the silver, and it floats away, and you get a little bit carried away, and it goes everywhere, and it's all very yummy. So what I thought I'd do is give you my brilliant ways of what I do, because for years I used to just use binder medium and then put the gold leaf onto it, and it was like a lucky dip, and look, it's floating away still, silver leaf everywhere. And it used to just go anywhere, dry too quickly, and it looked terrible. And then I talked to Wendy Arnold, an amazing, beautiful artist who does a lot of gold leaf on her work. And she said, Vanessa, you need to use gold size. Well, what? Fancy that, using the actual medium that is built for gold leaf. Genius. So there's different ones. This is the one I quite like. It's, I don't know if it's been around for a while, but there's other ones. The other one is Chinese, and it's quite, to me, I don't even know what it is, but it's quite toxic and smells, but this one works a treat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you're supposed to apply it. Now what pisses me off more than anything are artists who plonk out in the gold leaf just on the top and let it sit there. It's about having it as a layer, having it to people to come up and see your work and say, oh, that's interesting. Oh, look, there's gold and it's shining. Got bloody silver in my hair. There you go. How did she do that? Not, let's plonk it on and see what happens, and it sits on the top. So what I'm going to do is the gold, or I'm going to use silver because that's all I've got, but the silver will be as another layer, and then I'll put a glaze or over the top. But the idea is with silver, don't make it look like she stuck alfoil on top. Okay, it's all about adding a little bit of sexiness. So what I'm going to do, now with the gold size, you actually...
I'll introduce Benji while you do that.
Benji's my studio dog. He's a little bit smaller than Bones and less trouble, but he's very cute. Is that right, Benj? And I can't get the bloody thing off here. So what I'm going to do is, hang on. I might have to chop this off anyway because I do want a fine line. So what I'm going to do is create a hole in the top. And what's amazing with this, if it's done properly, is you can get the most intricate fine lines. I couldn't work out how Wendy did the most beautiful, intricate design, because she would print lace and beautiful textile onto the canvas, and then she would, with the gold leaf, go around and make all these detail. I'm thinking, how did she do that? Well, it's amazing. Use the right equipment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you how to do the fine line and how it gets very exciting. So, hang on, I just need something clean. Everything I've got, if you look at the paint brushes, when David and I got together, David's on the video today, he's heard it 100 times. When he first got together, he said, I will clean your brushes. Clean your brushes. Look at that.
It's a metaphor.
Yes. Well, still waiting. Go through lots of brushes. So, I'm just going to pour some of this gold size out onto here. Now, what happens with the gold size, it dries tacky. And that's when you put on, you don't put it on until it's tacky, right? So what I've done is I've drawn on here, I don't know if you can see it, but I've drawn with charcoal. It was going to be one boat, then it has two boats, then three boats, then it was dark and crappy, and I've gone over and over and over. I've stuck to these nice colours, turquoises and blues, excuse me. And I still can, I'm going to put glazing on it and everything. But here when it's reacting to water, reacting to different things, inks, I love this bit here. See that bit? That's reacting to the ink. This is lovely. Little sections that I like, others I don't like. So if you don't like something, you cover it up and then you can paint back over it. So what I'm going to do is, with this very fine, beautiful, clean brush, which is very rare, I'm just going to go, I'm going to take the charcoal because I think once it's, well, it won't come off. And I'm just going to do, oh, maybe it's messy. But anyway, I'm going to put the fine lines. And the thing about the gold size, if you've got a thick brush and you've got the brush marks, it will pick up the brush marks. So it's very lovely. And what happens with the gold size, it dries clear. And then when you put the gold on, you think, God, I don't know where the bloody... I'm worried about this. I don't know where the gold size is. So then when you put the gold on, oh, there it is. So I'm just going to put fine line I don't know whether this is going to help with the... And I'm going to just do that all over where I've done the charcoal. And when it's tacky, I'm going to come back with the gold size. So I'll just go up here. This is when it's good if you've got a straight hand. You can always paint over the gold size. You don't have to think, oh, I've stuffed it up now. Gold stuff, whatever it is. All right, so put that on there like that. I can put dots as well. That looks really nice because that comes up beautiful when you actually put the silver and gold or whatever it is going to be on. They catch on the little dots and that looks really nice. When I was rich, I used to do a whole panel of beautiful gold and then have cities of gold. Those were the days when I had bloody money. Anyway, so I'm going to keep it quite loose. I think if I make it too tight, I'll get disappointed. So I'll just keep it really loose. There we go. Stop with the bloody charcoal. And again, splashes. This is going to be a masterpiece. Then if Scott stuffs it up, I'll be upset. As I say, you can always paint over it. So now I'm going to wait. Don't know about the little boat up there, so I'm not going to do anything. See, I've got landscape, ink, oh, everything on here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, by putting the gold on, then I'll wait for it to be tacky, and then we'll show you what happens next. Alright, so turn it off. Okay, so I'm back. It's been about 20 minutes. The actual painting in the gold size is all tacky, and so while I was away I was actually doing an oil painting and fardassing around. So I actually did some oil painting and I've got oil painting all over my hands. So with oil paint, there's a little tip. When you, instead of pouring terps over your hands like I used to and giving myself a brain tumour, you actually get baby oil and then you just wash your hands with the baby oil and it all comes off, because you can't don't really want dirty hands with all the beautiful silver leaf. Okay, so I've got an old tea towel, I've got my oil paint off my hands. We're going to start. So with the silver leaf, there's the large sheets, which are the cheaper ones, which we'll do because it might cock up. As you can see, I'm messy. Now look, all over my hands. So it floats away and sticks to everything. I end up with gold everywhere, silver everywhere, and it's floating in the air. So I'm just going to, if this cocks up, it's good. I'm not doing it live, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to put it down. Oh, beautiful. And with a soft brush rather than your hands, which I used to do. And what it'll do, it'll just catch where the gold leaf is. Look at that. Oh, that's brush gone. Okay. So as you can see, a little bit messy, but see where it's catching on all the lovely. Is that brilliant, David?
I think so.
You thought I was so clever, but see, it's not that clever. And that's why when I see bloody awful silver or gold leaf, it just annoys me that people have done such a cruddy job and then they think they're so clever, they're just plonking it on top. So here, this is the cheap stuff, right? I think it's just posh aluminium, but anyway. Alfoil. You can be harsh, and that's why you really need it to dry. Now that's taken about 20 minutes for this to dry, because if it's not, it'll just move. And the good thing, you can't be too precious because it's expensive, but not that expensive. It's expensive when you decide that you don't like it and paint over it. Okay, so try not to waste too much. So if I'm going to put it here, I'll just move it around, move it up to here. I think Scott will like this. Okay, see how it's catching on all the little, now see here, oh that's because I got a sponge and moved it. All the little dots and the splashes I did. Okay, so I'll get some more. Can you see the little dots and splashes? Let me put some here to the mast. If you put it where you know it is, it won't float away. And it just catches the soft brush the builders left me years ago. Oh, look at that. It's catching on all the little dribbles and drops and dashes. I don't know what that is up there. Good thing is you can move it later. You can add to it. You put glaze. I prefer glazes over the top, and it comes through. And I can show you how to do that later. But what we're just concentrating on today is this. And then what I want you to do is to actually have a go. It's about having everything in your kit and try and make your work more fabulous. Not just close enough is good enough. Can't stand it. Oh yeah, I'll just put that there and that'll do. It's a whole journey of how can I make my work better every time. Not just find a recipe and then just, oh, I'm just going to keep doing that because that sells. People know who I'm talking about. Okay. Alright, so I've got silver leaf. It looks a lot more interesting than it was, which was a whole lot of splashes and splishes. And what I'm going to do is I will put a glaze over the top. Now the glaze, look at my hands, see? Can you see my hands? The glaze you can put with a binder. That's a bit of colour with a binder. You can put ink over the top. I might put an oil glaze over the top. You can then spray it with terps so that it comes through. That's beautiful. You can spray it with a binder with colour in it, with some water in it. It's a matter of playing. It's not about me showing you exactly what to do. How I got to do this is because I actually practiced, played and experimented. Alright, so now we've played with silver leaf. You could do the same with gold leaf. I think it's quite nice with silver actually. I was going to do gold. And then next week, what we're going to do is a live pour on Friday afternoon from Fairhaven with Scott, and that's a clear resin pour which will go over the top. He's going to mask the sides. The clear resin has to set over the weekend, and you can't have any dust or anything. So that's going to be a bit of fun.
Benji's
and Benji's now.
No, he's found the silver foil.
Ah!
That's what happens.
Oh, Benj. Yeah, see, he goes, it's stuck on his nose. Oh, Benji. All right, so that's it for silver, gold, foil, wonderful. Let me see. Please send in the pictures. Let me see what you do. I love to do it. This looks fantastic with also floral and basically anything. So give it a go, and we can do resin pour next Friday live from Fairhaven. Thank you. Bye.